The hotel front desk called my room at 3 a.m. to tell me that 3 people just asked for my room, and they're coming up right now. The phone screamed in the dark, and I was already moving before I was fully awake. Sir, 3 people just demanded your room number. The front desk clerk's voice came fast and panicked. I couldn't stop them. They're in the elevator right now coming up. You have maybe 45 seconds. My feet hit the carpet, and I was grabbing my jeans off the chair, my heart slamming against my ribs. The clerk kept talking, but I'd already dropped the phone, pulling on my shoes without socks, snatching my wallet and car keys from the nightstand. The room was on the 5th floor, and I could hear the elevator machinery humming through the walls, cables pulling the car upward with 3 people inside who knew my real name and exactly which room I was in. I grabbed my laptop bag and moved to the door, pressing my ear against the wood. Footsteps in the hallway, but from the wrong direction. Someone was already up here, which meant they'd split up, covering both stairwells while the others came up the elevator. I spun back toward the window, my hands working the latch. The Riverside Inn was a cheap roadside place with windows that actually opened, not like the sealed corporate hotels where you were trapped inside. Cold November air hit my face as I shoved the window up. Looking down at the fire escape I'd specifically checked when I'd arrived 3 days ago. Always check your exits. Always have a backup plan. That's what Adrian had taught me before they'd killed him, before I'd become the one running. The metal fire escape was rusted but solid, and I threw my laptop bag over my shoulder and climbed out just as I heard the distinctive ding of the elevator arriving on my floor. Voices in the hallway now, professional and clipped. Room 512. He's in 512. Move. I was already moving down the fire escape, my shoes clanging on metal grating that sang out my position. My car was parked in the back lot specifically for this scenario, facing outward for a quick exit. The cold air burned my lungs and my hands were already numb on the frozen railing, but I took the stairs 2 at a time. Behind me, I heard the window of my room slide open and a man's voice shouting down at me to stop, that they just wanted to talk. People who just want to talk don't show up at 3 a.m. with a team. They don't bypass hotel security protocols. I hit the 4th floor landing and heard another window open above me. They were following down the fire escape while others were probably heading to the ground floor to cut me off. The 3rd floor landing had a ladder that dropped to the parking lot below, one of those counterweighted emergency ladders. I grabbed the release mechanism and the ladder dropped fast, hitting the asphalt with a metallic crash. I didn't bother climbing down properly, just grabbed the sides and slid, the metal rails tearing through my palms and bringing blood instantly. My feet hit the ground hard, but I was already running toward my car, a 10-year-old Camry I'd bought for cash, using a fake ID. The key was in my hand, and I was clicking the unlock button when I saw headlights suddenly flare from a vehicle parked 3 spots away. A black SUV with tinted windows and a reinforced front grille designed for ramming. They'd found my car. They'd been waiting for this. I changed direction mid-stride, vaulting over a concrete barrier and heading for the street. My lungs were screaming and my hands were slick with blood, but I could hear car doors opening behind me and footsteps hitting pavement. The street was empty at this hour, just sodium lights casting orange pools on cracked asphalt and closed businesses with steel shutters. I ran toward the 24-hour gas station I could see 2 blocks down, the only place with lights and potential witnesses. Behind me, the SUV's engine roared and tires squealed. They were coming after me in the vehicle, which meant they'd abandoned any pretense of this being legitimate. Private investigators don't run people down in the street. These were contractors, and someone had paid them very well to find me. I cut through an alley between a closed laundromat and a tax office, jumping over trash bags and dodging a shopping cart. The alley was narrow enough that the SUV couldn't follow, but I heard doors opening and more footsteps. They were on foot now, at least 2 of them. My breath came in ragged gasps, and the cold air felt like knives. The alley opened onto another street, and I burst out just as a pair of headlights swept toward me. For a split second I thought it was another vehicle working with them, but it was just a late-night delivery truck rumbling past. I ran alongside it for half a block, using it as cover, then cut across the street toward the gas station. The fluorescent lights inside the convenience store were brutally bright after the darkness, and the clerk behind the bulletproof glass looked up from his phone with the exhausted expression of someone working the graveyard shift. I stumbled to the counter, my bloody hands leaving prints on the surface. Call 911. Someone's trying to kill me. The clerk's bored expression shifted to alarm as he took in my appearance, the blood on my hands and the wild panic in my eyes. He reached for the phone, but then his gaze moved past me to the window behind me, and his face went pale. I turned and saw the black SUV pulling into the gas station parking lot, moving slowly now, deliberately. The clerk's hand froze on the phone, and I knew immediately what was happening. He wasn't going to call. Full story is linked below or on my channel.